Why didn't anyone think of this before? First, he draws a perfect circle to map out the whole outer frame. Then, he mounts a flexible metal profile right along that curved line to keep the edge completely even. You have to adjust the spacing of the cuts depending on the size of the circle, otherwise the curve can warp later on. Next, he installs the vertical studs to lock in the basic shape. Then he takes flexible drywall and wraps it slowly around that curved edge, spacing the screws perfectly to avoid cracking the material. He adds drywall strips to the sides to seal everything up, using a depth control screwdriver so the screws hold tight without ripping the paper surface. Once it's all covered, he redraws the circle on the front face and cuts out the opening with a jigsaw. Popping out that centerpiece leaves the perfect spot for the mirror and lights. Then he adds flexible trim around the rim and applies a few coats of joint compound, sanding between layers. He even uses a side light to spot the tiniest imperfections before spraying on a textured gray paint. Finally, he glues a round mirror into the back, carefully paints on the moon details, and hides a flexible LED strip right behind the edge. Turn on the light and you get this glowing moon that looks like it's literally floating on the wall.